Joe Pyfer faces the heavy-hitting Abdul Razak Alhassan this Saturday. It's a UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. I imagine you're looking forward to this kind of a matchup. I mean, Abdul Razak Alhassan, I think you know what you're getting in this kind of a fight.
Yeah, no, you know what you're getting. You understand he kind of fights the same in every one of his fights. Forward pressure, big hooks, big kicks. Not crazy cardio, not crazy grappling, no crazy techniques. He's like a bludgeoning type guy. He's got bad intentions when he throws and he tries to get you out of there, and I like that. So I like the matchup too.
I got to ask you about this. You fought Gerald Meerschaert in your last fight. And I know he's a mutual friend of yourself and Paul Felder's. Um, I guess Paul Felder's a mutual friend of yourself and Gerald. Now, I noticed like about a month later, you and Gerald were in a grappling matchup against one another. How did that come about?
I just heard Gerald was super respectful, but I just heard, I heard a lot of people being like, well, if that fight had gotten to the ground. And I'm like, listen, you guys don't understand. My first love was jiu-jitsu. It was my first art that I trained, and I'm a good jiu-jitsu guy, and I beat black belts all the time. So I actually grappled him with a screwed up shoulder I needed surgery on, elbow that I needed surgery on the next week. My hand was up. I had a slap tear in my labrum, so I went out there and I challenged him to a grappling match because it was a quick way to make some money, and I wanted to shut everybody up about this bullshit. Like he had the most submission wins in the UFC division, and all this crap. You know what I mean? Like I'm a complete fighter. I'm not one dimensional, and I thought it would be good for my resume to smash a guy like Gerald in grappling as well as I knocked him out. I didn't get the finish in grappling, but I completely dominated him. So I wanted to prove a point.
Did you get a chance to speak with Gerald afterwards? I'm guessing there's no other competition you and him are going to be competing in anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, what else can he compete against me in? I smashed him in both. So, no, I mean, I talked to him. He was a super, it was like weird, man. Like he was respectful, but he was like, oh, Joe, I had a good game plan for the judges. And it's like, my man, I took you down. I kept you down. I took you down again. I went for multiple submission attempts and you just kind of laid on your back, brother. Like, I don't like when people try to like do that passive aggressive, like I wasn't doing much. Like, brother, I absolutely trashed you. So, and in both respects, like he didn't score a point on me. So, I don't have no problem with Gerald, but I think he's a little bit of a sore loser. And, you know, yeah, I already beat him.
All right, well, we're on to the next. We got Abdul Razak Alhassan. So,
Yeah.
in terms of your preparation for this match, has anything changed?
I mean, look, everything. I don't think I need to be too specific for a guy like this. This guy's really good. I don't think he's a title challenge type guy. He's 6'5" in the UFC. He's a little bit older in age. Even though them African boys, they don't age. He looks real young physically. He looks healthy. So I don't really think age is a factor in this. But I think cardio is a factor in this fight, and I think my distance management is really going to be something that frustrates him and makes him overcommit. And I think I'm going to put him out. And let's not forget, I can wrestle, and I got good jujitsu, both of what he does not have. So to the level that I do, and he's really strong for round one. That's it.
It seems like in this division, his cardio seemingly has improved a little bit from what it was at 170 pounds, where if he got out of the first round, he would just drop off a cliff. At least now it seems like it's short up. I mean, I don't think it's Joe Pyfer level, but it seems like it's gotten to a point where he can compete for 3 rounds at middleweight. Do you agree?
I mean, listen. I've watched a lot of film on him. I watched his fight against Joaquin Buckley. I watched his fight against Ribeiro. I watched a couple of his 70 fights, but it really doesn't apply. He's not the same guy he was at 70 as he is at 85. I think it depends, man. Like one thing, I don't think he has a lot of volume, and I still don't think he has a ton of cardio to have a lot of volume. If you look the last Ribeiro fight, look how many punches were thrown. It wasn't that many. Look how many exchanges were really action-packed. It wasn't that many. He dove at the waist like a football player and just kind of held on against the cage. He did a couple things good. You got to be careful. He'll try to like smash them elbows in there sometimes. But I think he's predictable, man. So yeah, I mean, I am not personally impressed with his cardio. I think there's a very clear path on how to beat this man. There's many paths to beat this man. It's just taking the least dangerous one. He has the ability to knock me out, and I just have to do my due diligence and being alert, being focused. I have really good defense, and don't let him get that shot.
I saw the interview you did with Ariel Helwani in studio and learned a lot about your background. I haven't had a chance to watch your documentary yet because, frankly, I'm not exactly sure where to find it. I'm gonna have to reach out to your management to see if they can send me a viewing link of some sort. But it seems like, I mean, you've been through a lot of stuff in your life. How much of your spare time is spent on working on you, like in terms of your mentality, in terms of the kind of trauma that you've gone through in your life?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I think life will teach you to keep evolving. Because you always have another problem. You know, you're never not going to have problems in this sport, and there's always anxiety in this. It's like, you know, as soon as I win this, everybody's going to be in my face. What's next? Top 15, blah, 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 blah. And it's just, and then the anxiety of like, oh, Abdul's got big power. And like the media, I'm not saying you guys, but the media, they'll like put it in your head that this guy's a fucking tank and all this. And it's, you know, it's all an illusion, man. Like at the end of the day, I spar tough guys. Like I got my teammates out here. I got a good group of 10 guys out here, and I spar with some killers that nobody's heard of. That, you know, they're fast, they're powerful, they're great cardio, and I get some dog rounds in, man. So like this is an easy, not an easy fight, but this is an easy fight if I go out there and perform the way I know I can, and that's the whole thing, right? Who shows up? But I think my point is like, I keep it very realistic. I don't let this pressure, I guess, of co-main and he's 12 finishes. Like, you finished 12 other guys, but you never finished me. You never fought me. And to each their own, you know, styles make matches. So I do a really good job with it. I'm always working on myself. I'm always trying to improve my health and my mental health especially because, you know, that matters more than any fight that I could ever have. And, so yeah, man, I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm present. I'm happy to be here, and I think from each fight, I've always grown a little bit wiser, especially for this one.
This might be a weird question, but you almost relish those anxieties because those anxieties, at least, I mean, hey, you're in the UFC now. This was your dream. This is where you wanted to be. The other anxieties from things that you went through earlier in your life, I mean, that's some really heavy stuff. Where if you're worried about the other anxieties that are, you know, at least you can kind of refocus that to like, hey, I'm living my dream right now. I'm great at something. You know, I'm one of the best in the world at something. You can at least find the positive in those other anxieties.
Yeah, so the way I am is I'm not the best in the world at something yet. You know, I'm working to be the best in the world at something, and that is motivating for me. You know, I haven't beat Abdul yet. I think I could beat Abdul, and I think I can beat him very handily. Do I go out there and do it? It's a real question, right? So, you know, that is motivating for me. That is something I desire, something I want to. Listen, I get in the sport. I can say I want to be a world champion and all this, but my true goal is to see how far I can take this. And if a world championship is in that site, then you know, I'm going to take it. I will never shy away from an opportunity, and I also will never be afraid to turn one down if I am mentally and physically not healthy. So, yeah, I mean, it does counteract it, but I've also let go of my past, of the trauma. You know, I'll never forget it, but I've forgiven the people involved in it, and sometimes we get negative, and sometimes it catches up to me. But I do a good job of saying, hey, be grateful for the people I have around me, for the opportunities I have, the things that I can provide, the things that I can attain still, you know, and it's all up to me still. So I'm still very optimistic, still very happy, and still very present. I think you got to be present in this world or it'll pass you by really quick, and a lot of things will go by that you didn't really appreciate.
What's the best thing going on in your life outside of fighting that's not related to fighting at all?
What's the best thing? I don't know. I don't really have much of a life outside of fighting right now. That's a really good question. I couldn't answer that right now. I couldn't tell you.
What brings you joy? Like, what are some things that bring you joy that aren't related to fighting and mixed martial arts?
Riding motorcycles. You know, I got a jet ski this past summer. Riding motorcycles, going to the shore. You know, being around cars. I love car stuff. I'm a big car enthusiast. Hanging out with people that I know care about me. You know, being able to train and things of that matter. But you know, I can't say there's been a ton recently because I had surgery and. You know, this was a little bit of a harder camp mentally, you know, so I got through it, and it was tough, and I didn't just get through it, you know, I'm here, and I'm present, and I'm happy to be here, so I would say I'll have a better answer for you after this fight, but I don't really allow myself to enjoy too much, because I've given Abdul a lot of respect in my preparation and my hard training, and, you know, I know he's somebody who shouldn't beat me, but could beat me, you know, again, shouldn't beat me, but could take everything from me, you know? So I'm not I'm not willing to let myself enjoy life a little too much until after this fight.
All right. Well, after this fight, we'll catch up, and I'll find out what you're doing on the day-to-day
Hell
that's
yeah.
not related to fighting. But I can see you're very focused on Abdul Razak Alhassan, as you should be. It's the co-main event this Saturday. Looking forward to more of your success, Joe, and it's a pleasure speaking with you.
My man. Thanks for asking good questions. I appreciate it.